The sun was shining earlier today. The birds were chirping. Not so sure if they are right now. Actually, my window is closed, but it's May 29th, Tyler, and the Edmonton Oilers are still playing hockey. They're still competing in the Western Conference Final. They might be down 2-1 to Dallas, but brother, this is a situation we were just in against the Vancouver Canucks. Big win tonight. You're tied up back 2-2. It comes a best of three. You got to like where you're going to be in. What more could you ask for as an Edmonton Oilers fan? Hello and welcome to Pre-Gaming with Bordsy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason. Subscribe to the ON YouTube. Drop your like. Get in the chat. Seeing a couple in here right now from our boy Dukes. I am so ready for today. Let's go Oilers. We got some LFGs. Calvin Pickard with a little big B in there. I'm your host, Aaron Bordato, the man next to me, Tyler Yaremchuk, the face and voice of Oilers Nation. Ty, I wasn't with you earlier today. You went down to Sherwood Ford. You were in my neck of the woods. And the only question I have for you, how was the coffee? 1 out of 10, hit me.
Oh, it was great. I had 2 Sherbucks today, so it was delicious, and it's keeping me nice and energized and loose ahead of a pivotal game 4.
Yep, it's a pivotal game 4. First thing I said to you this morning when I saw you virtually, is I said, Ty, I woke up with blind faith today, baby. Immediately was hit by a very, very weird Darnell Nurse media availability that we will talk about in just a couple minutes. Then it wasn't just some lineup changes. It's looking like 3 sizable lineup changes tonight. There's a nervous energy out there. There's tension out there. I love it. I love the Oilers' chances tonight. I also think hungry dog runs faster, brother. And the Oilers, they're going to be playing a little angrier, maybe a little bit more piss and vinegar in there. You got the home crowd buzzing. I expect beef to be thrown on the ice. The point I'm trying to make is I got blind faith. What about you, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I think you should have, obviously, as fans, blind faith in the Oilers, but also I think if you kind of go back through this series and go through like a period by period breakdown of things, the Oilers have been better for a majority of the periods. And I think that's a reason to have some confidence in Edmonton tonight. They've been a good home team all year. Granted, Dallas, best road team in the NHL and all of that stuff, but still, that was the first time the Oilers have lost back-to-back games at all in these playoffs. I don't think they're losing back-to-back home games in these playoffs. So there's a lot of reasons to be confident in this team.
Yep, you mentioned it, the Oilers. They've been in this every step of the way. It's been quite the series. And my one message through 3 games, would be it's not how you start, it's how you finish the game. And that accurately describes the Edmonton Oilers in the last 2 games. Game 2, they outshoot Dallas in the first period 16-4. They're unable to get the lead, though, and they let it slip away in the third period. Game 3, they outshoot them again. They come out like gangbusters, dude. Shots were 10-3. McDavid banks one off the third post in Zach Hyman. He then goes out, scores a greasy one immediately. But then Dallas comes out and they take over. They turn the tides. And like I said, you could just feel it coming in that one. They scored 3 goals in a matter of 3 minutes and 33 seconds. The Oilers eventually give up the game winner to Jason Robertson on his hat trick. Brutal breakdown from everyone in front. And yes, Stuart Skinner, you want him to stop that one. But dude, stop me if you've heard this one before. It's been the inability to get pucks out and defensive breakdowns. A story all too familiar to nation citizens and Edmonton Oilers fans. But like you mentioned, dude, every step of the way, we have been in this. There's been excellent first periods. You've gotten solid goaltending. You've gotten depth scoring. You have an elite penalty kill. Sure, the power play hasn't shown up yet, but there's a ton of reasons to like the Oilers in this series. It's just cliche, do it for 60 minutes. And I guess the thing that I want to ask you is, I know Dallas is a good team, right? They're veteran-led. They've been in the best in the West all season for a reason. But am I crazy to say that it feels after 3 games, the Stars haven't won 2 games? It feels like the Oilers have beat themselves in this, which obviously they've had good leads in these games. Where do you come out? Like you just mentioned, we've been in this every step of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think part of that's obviously our perspective, right? Like we're going to sit there in game 1 or from game 3, and focus on that 12-minute stretch in the second period and be like, the Oilers shot themselves in the foot. They totally blew up. I mean, Dallas did make a lot of mistakes in the first period as well. I'm sure a Stars fan would sit there and tell you, whoa, whoa, whoa. We had our bad period. you had your bad period and we came out ahead. We each had a bad period in that hockey game. And I think that's also kind of fair. We do need to give some credit to Dallas and just the way they continually to push in these hockey games. And no matter what the score is, they don't change the way that they play. They just keep hitting you with the same sort of tenacious style of hockey. They loved speeding up plays on the rush and generating odd mans, and that's been overwhelming for the Oilers. So again, Edmonton has been the better team. I think it's still a pretty thin margin, all things considered. And I still think there are things the Oilers have to make adjustments to. They got to be better in the offensive zone, never mind just the defensive zone. They got to do a better job of keeping tabs on those Dallas forwards when they're coming out of the offensive zone, because they've given up too many breakaways already in this series. So again, better team, yes. Reason to be confident, yes. Do the Oilers just need to keep doing what they're doing and win the series? No, they actually still have to be better.
Yep, I think that's fair. One guy who absolutely needs to be better, and boy, oh boy, he's getting raked over the coals for the last 48 hours. That is Darnell Nurse. And his interview today would suggest that he is fed up and he's tired of answering these questions. We have the clip here. We played it earlier. ONE. Hit it, Pat.
What have you sort of seen from him and the time that he's been here, the work he's been putting in, being patient?
Yeah, really good player. He's ready.
Do you have confidence that he can, come?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Really good player.
What is it about his game, Darnell, that you think makes him ready?
Can skate, physical, can make plays.
Connor was talking about just...
So that clip continues on like that for 58 seconds where he doesn't say a whole heck of a lot, Tyler. We talked about it earlier that, hey, he did answer every question that was asked of him. Took a book out of the Marshawn Lynch book, or page out of the Marshawn Lynch book. He's there just so he won't get fined. But I don't know. I don't read into this way too much. Yes, that's a bad look. If you're a leader on this team, you wear a letter, you have it on your jersey. But Pat, pull up the photo for me, because just the human aspect of this. Are you telling me in a room like that you want to answer question after question about why you suck? He's not talking to fans. He's not talking to his teammates. He's talking to the media. And to me, that says he wants to forget game 3, all this talk, go out there and let his play do the talking. Just look at that photo. It's absolutely insane. But it's no secret, he has to be better. The Oilers, they've played 15 playoff games already. Only twice has Nurse finished a game without being on the ice for a 5v5 goal against. It's been 11 straight games he's been scored on 5v5. In those 15 games, he's been on the ice for 18 goals against. The next closest is Cece and Vinny with 12, and Ekholm Bush with 10. And they do play a lot of minutes. There's no secret. We said it. Darnell needs to be better. I expect he will be better. I have seen it from him. You talked about it today. His best asset is his skating. One thing noted in Jason Greger's Game Day article today, Darnell's just kind of giving the opposition too much room. He's backing up way too much, allowing them to take the blue line, where his assets is speed. He can cover up that gap if he needs to. He's also a physical guy. Take the man. The Robertson goal in the last one, I actually don't hate how Darnell played that one. I want Stuart Skinner to make that save. But, dude, Demers brought it up today. For Darnell Nurse, if you're not feeling good about your game, you're in your head, everybody's on your ass, one way to go out there and immediately get back into the game is line someone up at center ice and separate them from the puck. Along the boards, I don't care. You bring that physical energy. There's 2 ways to get in a game early, really. Score a goal, that'll motivate you, or get in there physically. I think that will be the key to getting Darnell going. It'll get the crowd going. It might even get them supporting him. I like that from the fans. Be nice to Darnell tonight, people. He is on this team, and he is getting paid $9.25. But Ty, Darnell, he got to be better tonight. I expect he will be, but what about you?
Yeah, me too. I got a couple of thoughts just kind of on the whole thing. I agree. Like sitting there and staring down the cameras and the microphones, knowing that you're gonna have to talk about your bad performance, it's not fun at all. And we had a couple of people in here that the media questions are brutal. Okay, the point of a scrum isn't to ask these insane, thought-provoking questions. It's supposed to get sort of skim-level quotes on the big storylines of the series. And listen, the players don't love doing it. The media hardly likes doing it. The whole point of it is to just get those baseline quotes. So you're not sitting down for an extensive one-on-one asking a 45-second thought-provoking question. So all the people in there being like, the media questions suck. That's why he did it. No, they didn't. It's the same questions they get all year. As a player, you suck it up. and you do it, and you give the media their quotes, and you play nice. Instead, Darnell Nurse went this route and decided to make himself a story. And we criticized Darnell Nurse or for Vander Kane for this earlier on in the playoffs. And listen, man, Darnell Nurse could have gone out there and given 15-second cliche answers, and nobody would have said a peep. Instead, he's trending across Canada today. So did he do that intentionally to maybe spark the team or do it like that or spark himself or something? Sure, but I'm just saying it better work, man, because you can do that shit, and I won't be bothered at all if you come out and back it up and play really well. So he's got to play physical. He's got to play engaged, get up in the rush a little bit. I pushed back on Liam today with the whole simple Daryl narrative. I don't want that. I want Darnell Nurse making plays. $9.25 million player. We've seen him before score 17 goals in a 56-game season. He's capable of doing really good things, transporting the puck in the offensive zone and in the offensive blue line. He does that stuff when he takes good calculated risks, when he doesn't play scared. I don't want to see Darnell Nurse play scared today. I want to see him play pissed off and aggressive.
His best assets, it's the speed, it's the IQ, it's jumping up in the rush. I just feel that he's in his head, and it's that split second of, do I pinch? Do I go back? Where I said, lay somebody out. Go line up Jason Robertson. Don't let him score 3 goals. You'll feel better about it. And maybe you need the spark. Nabla, he's looking for a spark, and it's not technically a must win, but obviously, if you're the Oilers, you do not want to go down 3-1 heading out to Dallas. I don't think there's panic in that room by any means. I mentioned they've been down 2-1 before. They've been down 3-2 before in series, and they came back and did good stuff. But Chris Knoblauch clearly has seen enough, and he's going to make several lineup changes. If you haven't been online today, boy, oh boy, you're missing out, because Broberg, Ryan McLeod, Corey Perry in. We do project by morning skate, Fogle, Carrick, Vinny out. Shout out to Ryan Rashog. 3 potential changes based off morning skate and who stayed on the ice. Desharnais, Carrick, Fogle burned their game day wheels, as you might even say. So Philip Broberg in for Vinny. Tyler, let's start there. First, I thought Vinny had a terrible, terrible game 3 and was part of the reason why you saw Nurse and CC get put back together. Maybe I should say just one terrible in there. He was a bad game. Obviously, the 3rd goal, I think you can kind of put that one entirely on Vinny. But he's physical, he's mean, he's tough. He's been great on the penalty kill. The guy eats pucks for a living in that position. His inability, though, to handle the puck in the D zone, it has become a detriment at points in this series. What do you think about the move of Broberg in, Vinny out? And we kind of talk about the PK, right? Because it's been so perfect, and he is a big part of that. Does one guy really impact the PK that much? Because we just saw Ryan McLeod go out for a game. While they only had to kill off 1 penalty kill, kind of looked like the same unit out there. But there's nobody that has the size of Vincent Desharnais and can eat pucks, clear traffic in front of the net. Do you think it's going to be a big impact?
No, I don't think so. The penalty kill should be able to survive without Vincent Desharnais. I mean, like, come on. But here's where I'll stand up in defense of Desharnais a little bit, because I agree he was not good in that game. But again, Nurse was bad, CC was bad, Desharnais was bad. A lot of them were bad in that game. And Vinny Desharnais struggled in that. He struggled when he was with Darnell Nurse on the second pairing. A lot of his struggles have come at that point. And what's frustrating is he's only in that role because Cody Ceci can't do his job and succeed in that role. So you need to push Vinny up and move Ceci down. And then Vinny goes up there and he looks good for a little bit. And then I think he kind of just gets worn out and he can't make, 100 straight good plays, and things kind of compound. And then he starts to struggle. And then you move him down, shattered confidence. Like, if Vinny was just on the third pairing with Brett Kulak playing 14 to 16 minutes every single game, I don't think he'd be coming out of the lineup at all, but he keeps getting pushed up, and there's this bigger problem of needing someone to play competently with Darnell Nurse, and unfortunately, the coach doesn't want to take Cody Ceci out of the lineup. So they're going and keeping the more veteran option in Ceci, sitting Desharnais and playing Broberg. Honestly, it feels like just for the sake of making a change. Like, I don't think Broberg's going to come in and be a massive difference maker. Only averaged 1137 this season, hasn't played in 40 some days. If you think he's going to come in and be this world beater, I think there's a real good chance you're going to be let down. So, I think this is a change for the sake of waking up the team. The same way, when you're down 4-0 and the other team's hammering you, you pull your goalie, switch him out, right? Try to wake everyone up. I think that's what this is doing here, saying, hey, if you're not playing well, Fogle, Vinny, you can sit. We don't care who you are.
Yep, everyone can get it. You mentioned Vinny being up in that top 4 role, maybe not meant for him. I feel like that's the same as Cody Ceci. They're both meant to be bottom pairing guys on that right side. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody else to put in that spot. Broberg, he played his last NHL action April 17th and 18th to round out the regular season. And you saw it there on the screen. He got an assist in each of those games. He played 16, 17 minutes respectively. But come on, we know those weren't real legit lineups. But I do think his skating mobility, like offensive skill set does kind of make him a natural fit in here. I do worry, is this a knee-jerk reaction and you're putting a guy out there that one thing you got to remember, he does have playoff experience too. He played, I think it was 9 playoff games last season, albeit not that much. It was all under 10 or even 7 minutes a night, but you add those bad boys up, you might get an hour of playoff hockey in there. So he does have some experience. One guy who has plenty, and he only sat for 1 game. It's Ryan McLeod, healthy scratch in game 3. But Nobby was very clear from the jump. You were going to see him back in the lineup soon. Don't expect to watch him up there in the press box. And I think his speed is always going to be missed. That's his number 1 asset. And dude, the Dallas Stars love the stretch pass. They live for the stretch pass. And I think Ryan McLeod's speed could definitely help defend that. He's been a major part of the PK. He's been solid defensively, but we know it. He still hasn't done anything 5v5 offensively. I said game 1, at least he had 5 hits. Game 2, right back to his old traits, being a passenger out there in the ice. I don't know for sure where he's going to play in the lineup. I would expect you're going a third line of McLeod, Connor Brown, and Adam Henrique. But my thing is, how are you going to see Ryan McLeod respond? Is he going to get in the fight? Is he going to get in the dirty areas? Because he wasn't called out by his coach by any means, but it was kind of there, and he knows what is expected from him. I hope he comes shot out like a cannon early. He brings maybe some physicality, but Tyler, I'm not holding my breath.
Nope, because we have a lot more bad games to look at over the last couple months than good games. And in these playoffs, we don't have any good games to look at from Ryan McLeod. So he needs to come out and be better. I'm fascinated. And I mean, hey, you're going to be on the air when they come out for warmups here in probably 20, 25 minutes. Where is he playing? Are they putting him on the 4th line as the 4th line center? Are they putting him on the wing with Henrique and Brown? Like, the way they kind of go about this is going to be really, really interesting. And it'll probably impact McLeod a bit, but he's got to be better. If he gets 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, 14 minutes, 16 minutes. He's got to go out there and play like it could be the last 8, 4, 12, 16 minutes of his NHL career. Like, I want to see that level of desperation out of Ryan McLeod because, I mean, if this series were to go sour and the last thing you remember of him is, wow, another playoffs where Ryan McLeod's very, very quiet, he might be playing his way out of Edmonton. And I think there's a lot of guys who should be sitting there looking in the mirror right now going, okay, now's the time for me to wake up. If I want to be an Oiler, if I want to win here, I need to start playing my best hockey.
We took a look at Frank Saravalli's trade targets list earlier today. You have to think if Ryan McLeod doesn't figure it out, his name could be mentioned in there. We don't need to go through the list right now. But if McLeod's motivated, brother, Corey Perry frothing at the mouth, I'm sure, to get in the lineup tonight. He hasn't played since game 5 of the Vancouver series. And while he too, dude, has 0 points in the playoffs, he has not been on the ice for a goal against in the 10 minutes he's played. I think, like you said there, my dream bottom 6 alignment, McLeod on the wing, Rico center, Connor Brown. Brown and McLeod rolling with speed, and you have your defensively more responsible Rico who just makes smart plays. I think Corey Perry is meant for the 4th line. You have to look at his foot speed for 1 second and you could go, okay, this guy cannot play any higher in the lineup, but that bottom line, Janmark, Derek Ryan, I think is who will be in the lineup because Carrick was out later on the ice. They cycle the puck well. That's Perry's strength. You don't need to get crazy with anything. Play a simple game. You brought this dude in for exactly this moment, though. Like, this is why Frank said he wanted him in the lineup when we were doing the show on Monday when you weren't with me. This is his moment. This is what you do. You don't need a full big game. You just need one moment from Corey Perry. And tonight, boy, oh boy, would it be sweet to watch him score a greaser off the shin pad, standing in the blue paint right on top of Ottinger while he bitches to the ref. Corey Perry, he's going to be in the lineup tonight. Do you expect much from him? Because from what I've seen, the foot speed simply isn't there. It's trying to get a puck to hit him in the body a la Zach Hyman style. That'll be his impact tonight. Or dragging guys in the fight, being the leader, being vocal on the bench. But what do you expect from him on the ice?
Yeah, low expectations for him. Like, I think Ryan McLeod has a better chance, although, maybe it's 70-30, 60-40, but I think McLeod has a better chance of being really, really impactful in this hockey game. But for Perry, like, where's the rat shit we were promised, for lack of a better phrase? Like, this dude was supposed to be getting under the other team's skin, pissing everyone off, doing dumb stuff after the whistle, going hard to the net. And for me, like, the lack of speed is a problem. The lack of speed combined with mainly perimeter play is an even bigger problem. The lack of hustle is a bigger problem. Like, I want him to look motivated tonight. I want him to be trying to get under the other team's skin, and I want Jake Ottinger to be absolutely sick of him by, what is it, puck drop 6:30? By 6:38, or no, puck drop 6:40, 6:48. I want Jake Ottinger to already be like, I'm sick of having this fucking guy in front of me.
Absolutely. I like this from Steven Ty. He said, you do realize if they win tonight, you're obligated to send Jay to every game from here on out, right? Are you going to tell him that Jay's our boss? Does someone need to tell him?
Jay's using his own season tickets.
I think Jay can afford that. But yes, if we win, buddy, you wear whatever jersey you wore. That applies to everybody at home. You let it ride, people. If you want some extra gear to wear, the playoffs are here, and it's time to oil up, people. Nationgear.ca. Go check them out. Look at these bad boys on your screen. We got blue, we got white, we got black, we got snapbacks. Rep your favorite team as they battle for the cup. Shop the exclusive Oil Up playoff merch and more at nationgear.ca. Get a pregame with Bordsy. Get an ONE with Tyler Yaremchuk. Live, laugh, La Bomba. Get whatever you want. We got all kinds of sick hats, all kinds of awesome gear. You want to represent your team and your favorite company, all Oilers Nation. Shout out Jay Downton. He'll be boots on the ground tonight, hopefully yelling at Ryan McLeod. Let's get into it here. Our need to know info courtesy of Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn the Wilhauk name. Made from 100% pure Alberta beef, their jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, and smoked to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size. You can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc, Spruce Grove, and West Edmonton Mall kiosk locations. Tyler, I'll let you go after the need to know, because I know you're also going to be boots on the ground tonight. What, you going to wear a shitty hat? Wear a shitty hat, dude.
Maybe.
You're not. I don't believe you for a second.
I
don't at all. Need to know info. As I mentioned, Broberg, McLeod, Perry in, Vinny, Fogle, Carrick out. We still don't know the line alignments, so keep it locked here on the ON YouTube. We'll all go through Twitter together. And I love reacting to the late breaking news because you can't prepare at all and you get shot out of a cannon. The Oilers, though, they have only allowed one goal in the first period of this series. However, they've been outscored 5-0 in the third period, which is complete opposite world of what we remember from the Oilers earlier this season. The point is, Dallas, though, they're finding a way to score in the clutch. The Oilers, we're going to need to find a timely goal and beat Jake Ottinger in that third period. Stuart Skinner, he gets the start tonight. He's been awesome in the series. 8-10 in game 3, which, Ty, if you watch that game, I hate the box score hunters, the people that just see the numbers and then they come blasted in my DMs or in this chat. What did you think of Stu in the last game? Because I thought for 3 of those goals, not his fault. The last one, obviously, but credit where credit's due. I'd say good hockey IQ play from Jason Robertson.
Yeah, and again, not a great goal. Would love for him to stop that one. The other ones, I don't really blame him at all. He made 17 saves, and some of them were like 10 bell, really, really big saves at big moments, like the Marchment breakaway stop. So I didn't have a huge problem with Stu in that game. It's a no-brainer for me that he starts tonight. And we talked about our Skinner confidence levels in game 6 and 7 of the series against Vancouver. And I said even then I was only at like a 5.5, 6. I'm at a 7.5, 8 right now with Stu. I'm pretty confident he's going to give the Oilers a good start.
I'm going to solid 8.0 out of 10. Just feels solid. He's been solid, passing the eye test, like every bit of it. On the Dallas Stars side of things, there's only one lineup change for them, as head coach Pete DeBoer said Radek Faksa is in, Craig Smith is out. Faksa hasn't played since game 1. We saw it in game 3. Rupe Hintz returned to the lineup, and boy, did he ever have an impact. 2 assists, he had 2 shots, 17 minutes of ice time. And Jason Robertson was the big beneficiary of his return. You saw him get one early on the one-timer. And I don't know if you saw his interview after the game. He said, the moment I scored that, I said, I'm shooting every puck that's going to come on my stick tonight. You have to think that gave Robo a little bit of extra confidence. And then it's Jake Ottinger in the net. That guy has just got confidence coming out the yin-yang right now. He's looked fantastic. He's a different kind of beast. I still don't think the Oilers are getting in his grill enough. Ty, goals 1 and 2 the last game. Where'd they come from? Somebody in the dirty area right in front of his net, getting him off of his game. So that you need to know info. Ty, gonna let you go. You know what I'm about to ask you, brother. Hit me.
4-1 and McDavid. I'll take an obvious one.
I like that. Jay went with Darnell Nurse today. So
Cool.
you got to believe, baby. Hope will never die. Ty, we love you. Appreciate you. Catch you tomorrow. 12:01 Mountain Standard Time. Oilers Nation every day. Over and out, my brother. And you ask yourself, Bordsy, you're going to do this whole show by yourself? As much as I would love to hear myself talk for another 30 minutes, I make the bullpen call. He has answered every single time I've asked so far this season. There he is. You had him for the last pregame and after dark. It's my pal, Zach Lang. Zachary, how we doing right now, buddy? I'm kind of jacked up for this game.
Yeah, I'm getting more excited and more excited as the day goes on, Bordsy. Nice. I love that. You know what? I don't even have a beverage right now. Such a busy day for me over here, Bordsy. I didn't have a chance to pour one, but believe me, I am going to need it. Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's going to be a fascinating game tonight.
Absolutely. So I guess I just kind of talked to Ty about it, but I want to get your opinion. Darnell Nurse, whipping boy, big topic of conversation right now. We saw the interview he gave today where I said he still answered every question. Don't be mad at the guy. Obviously, it's not a great look. I mentioned, I think that's more for the media trying to be short with them and maybe this team in general. What do you expect from Nursey tonight? Maybe the decor as a whole. Philip Broberg obviously is going to step in. We just kind of touched on this a lot with Ty, but I'm curious your opinion. Are you a believer in Darnell Nurse, or are you like the many people in this chat right now that they're not holding their breath for a bounce-back game from Big 2-5? Is it going to be simple Daryl tonight, or is this going to snowball and he's going to be public enemy number 1?
Well, considering I have half a unit riding on a Darnell Nurse anytime goal at +650 at betway.com, please play responsibly. I'm thinking we're going to have a good night from Darnell tonight. Bordsy, we've talked about it. We talked about it after the last game. You know, the biggest issue for Darnell Nurse has always been the fact that he just tries to do too much. He just tries to do too much out there on the ice. If he can simplify his game, and when he simplifies his game, he is at his best. And he can be a very good NHL defenseman. Is he, a $9.25 million guy? Probably not. Probably a little closer to 7.5 maybe. But hey, you know what? Ken Holland made his bed for Darnell Nurse, and Darnell's going to be happily laying on those stacks of cash, and you can't blame him, right? I still think Darnell Nurse is a very good defenseman, but man, talk about the storylines coming out of today. You've got, the press conference and his short answers, which is very out of character for Darnell Nurse. He is somebody who, typically gives longer, more well thought out answers than that. And couple that with the fact that on Frank Saravalli's trade targets list at dailyfaceoff.com, Darnell Nurse came in at number 19, and you can read all about that at Oilersnation.com. Lots of coverage up there today for me, taking a look at all the angles of this story as it continues to develop here. But it's fascinating to see that, and I think it just amplifies the pressure here for Darnell Nurse and the pressure cooker that he's in right now as a player for the Oilers.
Pressure makes diamonds, baby. Let's go, Daryl. I believe in him every step of the way. I might have to also throw down on a Darnell anytime goal tonight, because that just
it's plus
Jordan
650.
Shrug.
It's plus 650. It's sitting right there. I don't know.
A little sprinkle, Zachary. A little sprinkle never hurt anybody. Let's get into it now with the Sherwood Ford Giants storyline this evening. For me, it's you have a highly, highly motivated squad. You've got 3 guys returning to the lineup that, I use the term, frothing at the mouth to get in there. Corey Perry hasn't played since round 2. Philip Broberg hasn't played in 3-4 weeks, over a month, somewhere around there. Ryan McLeod, healthy scratch, kind of called out by his coach, maybe not specifically, but these guys all do something incredibly well, and you want to see that specifically tonight. McLeod, it's play with speed, play with skill, be solid on the penalty kill. Corey Perry, bring that piss and vinegar. Bring your lunch pail to work today and camp in that blue paint. Be a pest, be a dick, be a rat, whatever term you want to use, do it. Be an asshole. Philip Broberg, you're best with your mobility, your speed, trusting your hockey IQ. I mentioned Zach. He's played 9 playoff games last season, albeit it wasn't that much. So this shouldn't be that drastic a new for him, but you do think throwing a guy in game 3, round 3, when he hasn't played in a while. It's a little nerve-wracking, but one of these guys will have a chance to make a big play tonight. And you think if you can provide that for this team, it'll be a massive spark. I fully expect the Oilers' top line, McDavid, will touch on it in just a second. He was shot out of a cannon in game 3 to start. My thing is highly motivated, highly motivated. Darnell said it too. They're back against the wall team, Zach. You got a storyline coming into this evening.
You know, I don't know. It's like, I think the storylines are pretty obvious today, Bordsy. You know, they kind of write themselves. The Oilers had a defensive collapse in game 3. They couldn't get it done. They couldn't bear down and clear the zone. Couldn't do what they needed to do. Darnell Nurse, he's struggling right now. Vincent Darnay, he's struggling right now. He appears to be the guy that's coming out of the lineup tonight, although we'll see. I am already locked in right now on the old roster report, so we'll see that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think they kind of write themselves tonight. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm fascinated to see what the lines look like, how much have they been blended up, because, you know, my hope and my assumption is that the top 6 is staying the same. I don't think there's any reason to tweak anything up there, but that bottom 6 and that blue line, we could see some pretty good surgery happening here tonight.
The blue line is, I'm just waiting. I got nervous energy of what we're going to do with this. Am I going to see Nurse and Cece again? Am I going to see a ton of Philip Broberg? I already miss Vinny. Let's get into it with the Edmonton Oilers lineup report, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant, home of the Giant Advantage and Dealer Raiders Alberta Ford Store of the Year award for customer satisfaction. They've got a selection of new and used vehicles. It's the best place to find, finance, and service a Ford vehicle in Edmonton and Sherwood Park. There, you can find deals and a giant array of services and parts too. Whether you prefer shopping online or in store, they tailor the shopping experience to you from people who really care. Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason. So here's what we have projected on Daily Faceoff. Pat, you can maybe just throw this to the side kind of right now next to us, because we don't know for sure, and we will find out in a couple minutes. Keep it locked here, people. I can only pull refresh down on the tab so many times on Twitter. But Zach, I want to start with the captain, with the leader, Connor McDavid, because, dude, I absolutely loved his response in the media today when just broadly asked. I think it was him and Stu up on the podium. He took the question head on, said, no, I'm the leader. I'm going to take this one. He defended Darnell Nurse through and through. That shows leadership, belief in his guys. And I do think, pardon my language, a little fuck you to the media. I think in a little small sense, this isn't the same old McDavid we've seen in years past. His beard is darker, bigger than we've ever seen it. He's more vocal in the media, on the ice, talking to refs, and I'm sure in the room. And dude, to start game 3, McDavid was shot out of a cannon. I mentioned he banked it off the third post. Hyman scores a greasy one in front of the net. He was flying down the ice. He supercharged his speed burst through and through, but then it kind of went away in periods 2 and 3. And I don't want to put it all on one guy, but 97 is used to having this team on his shoulders. It feels like tonight, with all these question marks, all these storylines, all these things out there in the media, a lot of doubt, 97 does what he did to start game 3 and comes out, puts the team on his back. You need to see it. I want an angry Connor. I want the McTuff coming through his helmet. I want motivated Connor. And do you remember the old, like, it was like Bernie Sanders, I think it was, where he says, I'm once again asking you, Connor McDavid, to please put this team on your back and go out there and perform well. Something we know he can do, but it's been in spurts in the series. That start to game 3, though, peak 97.
Yeah, 100%. I think it goes without saying at this point in the year, you can expect a big night from Connor McDavid every single night. Whether or not he's able to deliver on that, you know, that's kind of up in the air. But it does feel like the makings here again of another big Connor McDavid night for the Edmonton Oilers. Backs against the wall. We've heard them talk about it. We've seen them punch through those walls time and time again. When the Oilers are in tough spots, it's when they seem to be able to play their best hockey. So I'm expecting nothing short of that here tonight. Expecting a big night from the big guys and seeing what they can do. So yeah, it just feels like it's going to be another one of those big nights. And I kind of feel like we're waiting for a big breakout offensive performance from the Oilers in this series. they've had a couple of like games where it's been there, especially early on in a game, but they've never been able to kind of sustain it here against Dallas. I don't think they've scored a single goal in the third period so far. 3 goals, 1 goal, 3 goals. Feels like it could be a 4+ goal night tonight to me, Bordsy.
You're telling me to bet the over? Life's too short to bet the under, baby, but we'll do so responsibly. And 19+. Me and you talked about this coming into the last game and talking about the physicality, the animosity, the tension out there on the ice. I'm a believer. Games 3 and 4 is where you hit your peak anger, hatred for the other team, then it starts to tail off. But so far in this series, 2 or 3 games, the physicality just simply hasn't been there. I do think the Oilers are the bigger, stronger, meaner team, which not playing that way, I think can lead into or lean towards the Dallas Stars' advantage. You think no Vinny tonight, you think less physicality. I think Corey Perry is going to come in there guns a-blazing, and also Evander Kane. I like what I've seen from him, but I want more of that dirty, greasy play. We saw it a ton in round 2. There's probably nothing that gets you more motivated than straight up hatred for the other guy on the ice in Nikita Zadorov. So maybe Kane needs to find somebody to hate out there on the ice. I mentioned before you joined with Darnell, I just think he's in his head and he can't find his game right now. And a great way to get out of your head to start the game, line someone up at center ice and separate them from the puck, do it along the boards, get in there physical wise. And I don't know. Do you think we'll see more of that tonight? I think there's desperation from the Oilers. I said, got a couple of guys in there motivated to get in the lineup, get in front of the net, be greasy, draw some penalties if you can. The Oilers power play still has not had that many opportunities. I don't know. What do you think? Are we going to get some more of that animosity, some of that tension, some after the whistle scrums? Because so far through 3 games, have not seen many face washes, not many punches, not much anything, dude.
You haven't really seen it a lot from Dallas at all these playoffs. It didn't really feel like they got into a lot of the extracurriculars against, Colorado or Vegas. I think there was a couple of moments. New look at the Oilers lines, Bordsy. According to Bob Stauffer, Oilers top line is staying the same. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman. Second line, Leon Draisaitl centering Ryan McLeod and Corey Perry. The third line, Adam Henrique centering Dylan Holloway and Evander Kane. Your fourth line is Derek Ryan, Connor Brown, and Matthias Janmark. Your blue line, Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse and Brett Kulak, Philip Broberg, and Cody Ceci as the third pairing. That's some new look lines tonight, Bordsy. Those are some new look lines.
My instant reaction, forgive my language, holy shit, wasn't expecting the top 6 to get changed around like that. Pat, I'm sure, is on it. He'll pull the graphic up so you guys can see this visually. But all right, let's unpack that, baby, because first things first, I love Ryan McLeod on the wing. I do think that's a better spot for him to be. We've also seen it with Leon Draisaitl earlier in the season. Him and Fogle, they were gangbusters on that top line. They were like point per game guys when they played with him. And it was around January during that good run for the Oilers. But putting Corey Perry, you put Ryan McLeod with Leon Draisaitl, you bring a ton of speed. Don't really understand the dead weight in one Corey Perry. Me and Ty literally just talked about that. I don't see a spot in this lineup for Corey Perry anywhere but the fourth line because of his lack of foot speed. Dallas can be a running gun team. They love the stretch pass. They love stretching things out. Gotta say, instant reaction, that one makes 0 sense to me.
You want a hot take, Bordsy?
Give it to me.
I love it. I like it. I really do. I like it. Corey Perry's a big body. He's a guy who can play down low. He can cycle the puck. That's what Leon Draisaitl does very well too, right? You've got 2 guys now here on this pairing, or on this second line rather, that are strong cyclers of the puck. And then you've got your burner in Ryan McLeod, right? You've got the guy with speed who can get in there and mix it up that way. I actually love it. I actually really do. Like, don't get me wrong. I've liked the look of the second line with Kane, Draisaitl, and Holloway. I thought they have been really, really good so far in these playoffs. But boy, I kind of really like the mix of this top 6. We've seen Ryan McLeod have success with Leon Draisaitl in the past. Yep. Ryan McLeod was at his best offensively this season when he was on that second line with Draisaitl and with Warren Fogle. So what am I expecting tonight from McLeod? some offense. Let's put up some points. Let's see what you can do here and see if you can produce for this team. Same thing with Corey Perry. I want to see some offense out of him tonight. I want to see him shooting the puck. He's going to have fresh legs, and he damn well better use them. I get it. He doesn't quite have the boots, the top end speed or anything like that anymore. But fresh legs, man, I think that should be a difference maker for him tonight. I kind of really like the look of this group, man. I honestly do.
Okay, we'll then move down the lineup. Also, this one from Ryder. It's a knob-block move. They never make sense, and they usually don't work.
They usually
Calvin
do.
Pickard worked. Calvin Pickard worked. Splitting up 97-29 worked. Moving Vinny up in the lineup worked. Putting Dylan Holloway in the top 6 worked. Not really picking up what you're laying down there, Ryder, but thank you for the engagement in the chat. You know I love you. So I look at that third line, though, and somebody says it in here, Joey H., they doing my boy Dry dirty. I don't think necessarily. McLeod, I like what you said. You can expect some offense from him. But look at that third line, brother. This is a move, I think, to spread out some offense. You have Kane and Holloway, still dynamic duo on the wing, forechecking kings. And you put them with Adam Henrique, who is just a smart, calm, big hockey IQ type of player. I'm not going to lie to you. I like that. I do kind of agree with Joey. They doing Dry a little bit dirty, but Dry has the ability to carry a line on his own, and that kind of gives you a top 9. I like the look of that. But, dude, let's talk about the deep pairings here, because Darnell Nurse and Brett Kulak. I saw Mr. Burns said it earlier here in the chat. Liam did bring this up as a possibility today. He said, could you put Nurse with Kulak? You're kind of swapping guys that usually play the same side. I don't know how easy that is to do. Looks nice and easy on paper, but you are flipping things over. But the idea, you put those two together, you think Nurse, he's not going to have to do much babysitting for one Brett Kulak. And paired with Kulak, Darnell might be able to jump up in the rush. That makes me like a Darnell anytime goal just a little bit more. But I can't lie to you. Looking at Broberg and Ceci on that final pairing does make me a little bit nervous, but that's just me because I've been burned before. I'm fully willing to give them a chance tonight, and we'll see how that goes. What do you think about the D pairs? And we'll start with Nurse and Kulak to put two guys like that together. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it, honestly. I think it's, I don't know. I think it's a good way to go. I probably would have went Broberg playing his offside with Nurse instead. I've dove into the numbers in the past, and there's some limited playing time between Nurse and Broberg, but they have had some good numbers together: positive shot share, shot attempt share, goal share, expected goal share. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Kulak is a guy we know can play the offside, but it's never an ideal situation to do that. I think he is going to be able to help settle down Nurse's game, though, and I think that's why they made this move. Right, this feels like the move to really help calm Nurse down. Broberg and Ceci, that pairing should be interesting. It should be an interesting pairing. Like I really like Philip Broberg's game this year. I thought he took some big steps forward in the American League. Thought he looked really sharp at the end of the regular season when he came in for a couple of appearances there. But Cody Ceci's been an adventure, so we'll see. I think Broberg is a very good skater. Hopefully he'll be able to skate it out of some trouble tonight. But yeah, it's interesting. We will, I guess we'll see how this all kind of transpires tonight.
Just locked in my Darnell Nurse anytime goal tonight, baby. Let's ride. Okay, we'll talk about this more at near the end of the show here, but we got to move along. See him running out of time. Let's get into the starting goaltender report, brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, your one-stop shop for everything you need, from fishing rods and reels, tackle and boat accessories, to motorcycle gear, water sports accessories, esports, you name it. It's adventure time and you want fun. That place shits out fun. That's all they do at Sherwood Power Sports Marine. They also have dogs in like the showroom on the weekend. They throw barbecues. That's the way to do it, people. I said they've gotten me this close to buying e-bikes before, and I definitely shouldn't be buying e-bikes. Find more at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine in the heart of Sherwood Park. All right, let's pull it up, the tail of the tape between the two goaltenders here. Jay Gottinger, yep, 209, 923 save percentage, blah, blah, blah. Stuart Skinner, 276 goals against with an 885 save percentage. And Zach, I was disappointed with the After Dark chat after the last game because it was only like 59% they wanted Stuart Skinner to start in the next game. Little crazy, little knee-jerk reaction, which obviously you're going to get after the game. Emotions are high. But if you actually watched, I'm not putting that game on him. Obviously, the fourth goal by Robertson. It's tough. Carter Hutton today came on ONE and broke down RVH. I'm not even going to try and explain it to you, but I clipped it. I put it on the YouTube. So if you want a proper breakdown from a former NHL goaltender, Hutz has got you covered. But dude, Stu made big saves. He stopped Marchment on the breakaway. He had on the second Robertson one, stopped the puck 3 times before he got the 4th rebound and was able to flip it over Skinner's shoulder. I know you, Zach, you're not worried about Stu. 1 to 10, what's your confidence level in Stu? I said 8. What did Tyler, said 8.2. What about you?
Yeah, 8.5, 9. Like, I've got all the confidence in Skinner right now. I got all the confidence until I don't have the confidence. And he hasn't done anything here to make me feel like that we shouldn't be confident in Stuart Skinner. Again, would it be nice to have him, maybe find a way to get a stop on one of those first 3 goals in game 3? Yeah, of course. The Jason Robertson one, that's a stinker. But you know what? It's going to happen. And credit where it's due. Like, this is one of those situations where I think you can really say, that was a great goal by Jason Robertson, and Skinner was doing as much as he could, right? It's a tough goal right there. So yeah, I got all the confidence in him. I think he matches up really well here against the Stars team. I think he's looking really solid.
Stu gonna be huge. And then the guy on the other side of the ice, what more can you say, dude? He's good. He's really good. He's very good at playing goal, but I still don't think the Oilers have tested him as much as they could have. I mentioned the tie. First 2 goals of last game, they're scored with traffic in front of him, right on top of him. McDavid scores the second in close. Hyman being the human backboard that he is. There's no secret recipe to this. He is human. He's like everybody else. Put traffic in front, get him off his game. You're going to be more likely to beat him. Obviously, as I keep saying, a couple power plays I'm sure would help with that. Don't expect more power plays to come. Dallas just simply doesn't take penalties. But get traffic in front, get him off his game, get in close. You can beat this guy, but not going to lie, he's been pretty damn good so far. Let's move here to the Dallas Stars lineup report brought to you by Greta Baryeg. You know him, you love him. It's the spot to watch a game in Edmonton. Enjoy any of their unreal features, from incredible drink deals, delicious street food, dope-ass games, and of course, the ice-cold beer. Pre, post, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday. It doesn't matter. Go check out Greta. They're the best and my personal favorite watering hole in the city. And program and note, Friday, it's going to be an away game, people. You know what that means. We're going to be pre-gaming. We're going to be post-gaming. We're going to be having a watch party downtown at Greta on Friday night. But here you see it, the projected lineup for the Dallas Stars this evening. It's Jason Robertson with Hintz and Sagan. Sagan, we saw a number of the draws because of Hintz's hand-wrist injury. Second line, Marchment, Duchesne, Pavelski. Third line, Ben, Johnston, and Logan Stankoven. Then it's Ty Dellandrea, Sam Steele, and Radek Faksa because he's in for Craig Smith. Deep pairings stay the same. Thomas Harley, Miro Heiskanen, Esa Lindell with Chris Tanev, Ryan Suter with Alex Petrovic. My one question to Zach, you in the chat today, why are the Dallas Stars so good on the road? Pat, I know we have a graphic that breaks down their home and away numbers. Simply doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Here you see it, 6-1 on the road, 4-5 at home. Makes no sense. Defies logic. We asked Jason Demers about it today. He said the team takes on the personality of their coach, and that he's calm as a cucumber, cool as a cucumber. He trusts their depth, rolls all the lines, and that tends to travel over on the road. They also don't take a ton of penalties, but we've seen it with this team, even on the road, or them on the road. If you think you haven't beat, just wait. If you can't get pucks out, just wait. Just wait, and eventually it will come. They've been great on the road. Zach, hopefully we nip that in the bud. Oilers have been a very, very good home team all season. We have been in these playoffs so far. Power play usually gets extra juiced. Skinner's extra juiced. Hopefully that can be a factor tonight because this team, look at your screen, they're a wagon away from home.
Yeah, they really are, Bordsy. It's an interesting thing, and those numbers for Jake Ottinger on the road are tremendous too. I don't understand goaltenders, Bordsy. I just they're absolute voodoo to me. So Like, okay, Jake Ottinger is great on the road. What can you do, right? Yeah, they're a great team. They're dangerous. Their numbers, just look at them, right? They're very impressive. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. For the Oilers, it's going to be not only about coming out here with a strong, first 20 to kind of start the game, but roll it over, right? And this is what I talked about in After Dark as well. You're not going to be able to play a full 60 minutes in the NHL in the playoffs. It's just not going to happen. The closest you might get is 35, 40 minutes. And if you can have a very strong 35, 40 minutes and, put up a couple of goals and not get outscored in the other 20, 25 minutes, then you're going to be looking pretty good. So for me, let's see if they can put together a good 35, 40.
Yep. It's too much of a cliche. And I love how you say that. You are never going to get 60 full minutes. That's crazy. It just is never going to happen. There's always going to be breakdowns. The game is way too unpredictable, but you try and do it for more than half. I like that. The Hintz, Robertson, Sagan line in game 3, they was a problem, brother. They were 3-1 in the scoring department when playing together 5v5. You mentioned it before. Sagan handled all the draws, and he did a great job because of Hintz' wrist and hand injury. But it woke up Jason Robertson. He has the confidence to shoot the puck now. He said it in his game day interview. But Jason Demers today, he said, Jason Robertson is, I believe, quote, soft as a marshmallow. He's written down here as 6'3", 200 pounds. I do not believe that one bit. He's a guy that, I'm not going to use the word soft, but I'm going to use the word soft. You get him off his game, you be more physical. Darnell, that's a guy to line up at center ice, kind of get him off his game. You want him hearing footsteps because looks like it kind of awoke something in that Robertson Hintz line in that previous game. You got to nip that in the bud before it gets anywhere. I think physicality on that line could be huge. The other line, Marchment, Pavelski, Duchesne, they didn't score in that last game. The scoring chances were 10-2 in the 10 minutes they played together 5v5. I just want physicality, Zach. I think this has been way too soft of a series coming up to this point. I want dudes laying out dudes left, right, and center. What about you?
Yeah, I agree, Bordsy. Yeah, you know what? It really felt like the hits for the Oilers took a step back after the LA series going up against Vancouver. And again, it feels like it's happened between the Vancouver series and the Dallas series. The Oilers are playing too soft right now. I think they have to ramp up the physicality here. I think they have to ramp up the aggression. They have to get in Jake Ottinger's face. They have to play some greasy playoff hockey, Bordsy. And the Oilers played a lot of greasy hockey in the past, especially in the playoffs. That LA series to start the playoffs for the Oilers, that was a greasy series, right? I think they need to kind of get back to that. I think you make a really good point with that because that physicality isn't something that a lot of players are comfortable with. Players aren't comfortable getting hit. They don't like to get hit. So, Dallas isn't exactly like a big team either, right? So if you can get in the way of some of these smaller guys, lay the body on them, could get them off their game for sure.
Absolutely. I love this from Steven. There is no way Robertson is 6'3". No chance, none. I'm looking at it right here. I don't believe it either. I don't believe it for 1 second. Also, Gito, Bordsy, probably the best part about tonight. Don't say that before the game has started. I appreciate the love, but no. What they're going to do on the ice is going to be the best part about tonight. Highly, highly motivated squad. Pressure makes diamonds, damn it. Feel good. I got the energy. I said I got the blind faith. And that's all you maybe got when you come to the NHL playoffs. Let's move here, Zachary. Let's talk about some bets with Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Betway 19+. Please play responsibly because with Betway, you can get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. All you got to do, create a new account, place a bet with no minimum amount required, and if that bet loses, you'll get a refund up to $200. You join the action by scanning that QR code right on your screen. You can then use that money to bet on your favorite sports. This offer is only available outside of Ontario. Zachary, it's time. I already placed one an anytime goal for Darnell Nurse, and it's not going to be on the board right now. But Pat, hit it for me. Let's take a peek. This is what I'm looking at tonight. Edmonton money line, 97, 2+ points. You saw it in the last game. He had 2 points. 5 minutes into that hockey game? I was feeling so good. That was the bankroll choice on Monday night as well. And that one currently juiced up at +165. The second one, I took power play stuff off of BORDZY bankroll the last 2 games. They need to score one eventually, right? This is me, my blind faith. I think they're going to get a call. And obviously, Evan Bouchard, he's the quarterback of that power play to get a power play point plus 130. So you got to like that. And then old reliable, number 18, Hyman. Anytime goal, simple plus 105. Pretty much every time I see a plus sign next to Hyman's name. Okay, go. You got to go smash that one. Zachary, you're a betting man. I know you've got some bets out there for Betway bets of the day, but out of these 3, which one do you like the most?
Oh boy, I really like the Bouchard 1+ power play point. That's one that I'm a big fan of. I've actually got Bouchard to score 2+ points. I had it in game 3. Didn't happen for me. That was a bit of a heartbreaker considering he got an assist on the first goal of the game 2 minutes and 2 seconds in. Couldn't find another point all night. But for me, I like the power play point, man. I think that this is a great opportunity for that power play unit to rebound. The lines have been blended up. The vibes are a little bit different. The Oilers' backs are against the wall here. I could see that one cashing for sure.
Yep, I feel good about that. Let me look in the chat right now. Ooh, Zach Hyman anytime goal with 41% of the vote right now leading the way. Edmonton money line, 97 2+ points. Second, people, let me know in the chat. You got any bets you're feeling good about tonight? I love a squad ride. I'll squad ride with everybody in here. Programming note, later tonight for Oilersnation After Dark, it's me and it's everybody's favorite Englishman. It's Liam Horrobin, baby. You get Tyler on pre-gaming. You get me. You get Liam After Dark. It's the Oilersnation Everyday Trio. Hopefully breaking down an Edmonton Oilers W later tonight. See some people in here. We're getting inappropriate. I like that. That means we're feeling light. We're feeling loose. That's how I hope the Edmonton Oilers are feeling tonight. Calvin Pickard just says, Liam. Yep, my guy Lehman in there. Zachary, the question I got for you before we ride, score prediction, anytime goal scorer, hit me.
You know what, Bordsy? I'm going to stick with what I said after the After Dark for Game 3. Give me a 4-1 Edmonton Oilers win. And that Ryan McLeod anytime goal looks even better right now with him playing on that second line. Fire me up, baby.
You're crazy, and I love crazy, and we need more crazy, Zach. For me, I'm just going to try and speak it into existence. I want more offense. I'm going to say 5-3 Edmonton Oilers. One of those is an empty netter. And I'm going Darnell Nurse. Anytime goal, baby. It's Darnell Nurse. And the crowd is going to explode when he does that. Big shout out to Sherwood Ford the Giant being the presenting sponsor of Pre-Gaming with Bordsy. Sherwood Power Sports Marine for the starting goaltenders. Greta for the visiting lineup. Also my favorite spot in the city, but you already knew that. Betway 18+. Please play responsibly. And Boston Pizza, because we love them, and it's time to team up for the win, people. Been 30 years since Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup, and we're the last one standing. Zach, did you notice, we didn't talk about it on the last post game, that BP's is like flying out the green men, the Leafs guy, all the people. Yeah. I love the commitment to the bit. I may be too proud to cheer for another team, but I like seeing that from the green men or the Leafs guy and every bit of them. I doubt they were paying for their own tickets, but shout out Boston Pizza. You love them. Go get some cactus cuts. Go get a pierogi pizza. Order it. Delivery. They deliver for this game. Hunker down on that couch. And on that note, Zach, you got any message for the people before this one? Back against the wall time, baby.
Live, laugh, La Bamba, baby.
Boom. Good luck, everybody. I'll catch you right here after the game on the Oilers Nation YouTube. Peace out.